Hello, and welcome to the Lever Report, a weekly video newsletter for human-centric leaders to navigate the week ahead. I'm Drew Fortin, here with your latest update for the week starting Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Markets are historically flat year to date. Anthropic's CEO says an AI freight train is headed towards white-collar jobs, where the best CEOs come from, and new estimates show workplace conflict costs U.S. companies an estimated $350 billion. Here's the news to start your week. May wrapped up with a surprisingly strong performance for the S&P 500. The benchmark index increased over 6% this month, marking its best performance since November 2023 and its strongest May since 1990. This strong showing came even as Wall Street seemed to shrug off ongoing trade war rhetoric, with some investors betting on what's being called the taco trade, or Trump always chickens out trade, suggesting a belief that threats won't fully materialize into sustained trade wars. Still, the benchmark is basically flat for 2025, putting up one of its worst starts to a year since the 1950s. Meanwhile, U.S. consumer sentiment in late May recovered from earlier lows, with the final sentiment index unchanged from April at 52.2. However, consumers remain cautious, expressing concern about future income and potential job losses, with the gauge of current personal finances at its lowest level since 2009. Despite May's rally, the S&P 500 remains relatively flat for the year and lags behind the global markets. For leaders, these market fluctuations underscore the ongoing uncertainty in the macroeconomic environment. The taco trade highlights a market that is trying to find stability amidst political posturing, but the underlying consumer anxiety about jobs and incomes, coupled with corporate pessimism, signals a continued need for caution and agility. So as we enter June, historically a quieter month for market gains, business leaders should focus on reinforcing their internal strengths, strong talent pipelines, adaptable business models, and a culture that can navigate disruption. Don't let short-term market optimism overshadow the need for your prudent long-term strategic planning to future-proof your business against continued volatility. The CEO of Anthropic made news last week. In Axios, they published an article called AI Jobs Danger, Sleepwalking into a White-Collar Bloodbath, and it highlights a stark warning from Dario Amodei, CEO of Anthropic, a leading AI developer. Amodei predicts AI could eliminate up to half of all entry-level white-collar jobs, potentially driving unemployment to 10 to 20% within the next 1 to 5 years across sectors like technology, finance, and law. He stresses that AI companies and the government need to be transparent about the impending mass elimination of jobs rather than, quote, sugarcoating the reality. Despite the urgent warnings from those building this technology, many lawmakers and workers remain unaware of the risks. This lack of awareness could lead to businesses replacing human workers with AI en masse almost overnight, once they recognize the cost savings and efficiency gains. So this isn't a future problem. It's a present challenge that demands proactive engagement. Recent college grad unemployment rose to 5.8% during Q1 of this year. That's the highest it's been since 2021, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. And unemployment has spiked in technical fields that have seen rapid advancements in AI. Here on the show, we've been covering the great flattening in big tech over the past several weeks. The analogy of AI as a freight train is incredibly accurate. Doing nothing is not an option. Instead, business leaders need to empower their teams by helping them understand how AI can augment their current tasks, giving them a legitimate shot at navigating this transition. We're also seeing this in businesses where they're trying to merge HR and digital technology functions, investing in upskilling and reskilling programs that focus on human-centric skills that AI can't replicate, such as critical thinking, creativity, and emotional intelligence. That's where the future lies for humans in work. Also, leaders should openly discuss the implications of AI with their workforce. We need to foster a culture of continuous learning and seeing AI as a positive impact on how we can all get work done and scale humans at work. Without that, the companies that don't focus are going to be left behind. According to a new article in Bloomberg by Matthew Boyle titled, "Why So Many CEOs Start at Consulting Firms Like Accenture and PwC," a significant shift is underway in where top corporate leaders are forged. Historically, companies like GE and IBM were renowned, quote, CEO factories, celebrated for their ability to cultivate executive talent. However, an exclusive analysis of over 4,300 global company CEOs reveals that consulting firms such as Accenture, Deloitte, PwC, and EY have now surpassed these traditional powerhouses in producing CEOs. This transition reflects new demands on leaders who must navigate an increasingly complex business landscape, requiring data fluency, global supply chains, geopolitical awareness, collaborative cultures, and rapid technological disruptions, especially with advancements in AI. Now, consulting firms, with their broad industry exposure and focus on both strategy and execution, are uniquely positioned to develop these versatile skills. And I just wanted to point out, while this article focuses on CEOs, this shift in leadership development applies to all senior management roles. The skills honed in consulting, think about it, the ability to quickly analyze diverse businesses, develop actionable strategies, and execute with precision, these are all precisely what's needed for leaders at every level today. It's about being able to articulate a strategic direction and possess a broad understanding across various functions and make tough, decisive choices in the face of uncertainty. Leaders must cultivate adaptability, problem solving prowess, and a deep understanding of how technology, particularly AI, will continue to reshape industries. So, by embracing continuous learning and diverse experiences, managers can position themselves and their teams for success in this ever evolving business environment. Think more like a consultant. A new article published on Inc.com by Kit Eaton sheds light on the substantial financial drain caused by unresolved workplace disputes. According to executive coach Stephanie Lundy, U.S. companies lose an estimated $350 billion annually due to lost productivity from employees spending an average of 2.8 hours per week dealing with conflict. Beyond direct productivity losses, conflict contributes to absenteeism, presenteeism, and significantly drives staff turnover, with up to 50% of employee departures linked to workplace disputes. This problem is compounded by a reported lack of conflict resolution skills among managers, with a DDI study finding that 49% of manager candidates lack these skills. Lundy emphasizes that addressing conflict starts with training staff in communication and negotiating to prevent issues, engaging leaders when conflicts arise to foster trust, and establishing clear long-term policies. To add to this, effective conflict management truly boils down to three key approaches. We need to engage in the conflict, we can choose to avoid the conflict, or we need to disarm. Engaging means directly addressing the conflict, facilitating open communication, and working towards a mutually agreeable solution, often through mediation or structured dialogue. Avoidance, while sometimes perceived negatively, can be a valid strategy for minor disagreements that are better left to dissipate naturally, or when the timing isn't right for productive discussion. Now, disarming involves de escalating tensions, finding a common ground, and shifting the focus from blame to understanding and shared goals. Equipping leaders with nuanced understanding of each of these and when to apply the strategies is crucial, which is why comprehensive leadership training programs must prioritize conflict resolution. And that's your Lever Report. Check the show notes for any articles or research we covered today. And if you're enjoying this content, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Also, ask questions or share thoughts in the comments section. We'd love to engage with you. I hope you have a productive week. We'll see you on the other side.